Setting up ads on Snapchat remains one of the best ways to acquire customers and grow your business this year. It is right up there with Facebook and Instagram ads. I will say it is a little trickier to find that sweet spot with Snapchat ads in comparison to Facebook ads, but once you really understand how to set up great Snapchat ads, it'll help take your sales and business to the next level, just like it has with ours, where we still spend thousands of dollars on Snap ads monthly, and in return we receive lots of traffic to our website and new and returning customers. There are a couple of reasons why I'm still so bullish with Snap ads. And a big reason is the fact that if you look on screen here, there are currently 306 million daily active users on the platform who each spend on average 30 minutes per day on the platform. So we have 306 million people that we can reach, and the ad saturation is low. So today, let's get you set up on Snap ads and kick started with some of the strategies and tools that I personally use to create winning Snap ads in today's full guide and tutorial. And by the way, drop a like and subscribe if you find today's video useful. It's always appreciated. The very first thing that you want to do is head on to the link down below. This is where you're able to create a new Snap ads account, and make sure to take advantage, as you can see here, of the free ad credit Snapchat has set up specifically for my audience, aka you guys. So the Snap ad credit, it'll give you flexibility to get used to Snap ads while spending less, because once you head onto this link here, you'll be able to double your ad credit for free. And this is really important if you want to get kickstarted. And mind you, this is for new accounts only, but you're more than welcome to create a new account and get that ad credit even if you've previously used Snap ads. So go ahead and click one of these options if you want to spend 300 or if you want to spend 1,000. Doesn't really matter long term, by the way. It just limits the amount of ad credit that you can get back. And then you're going to sign up and create your business. So in this case, we're a small business, creator, whatever it might be. Then you're just going to continue and create ads and public profile and go ahead and fill out your details here. The ad structure when it comes to Snap ads is a little different. The overall ad structure you should be following when it comes to Snap ads, I will tell you about because it is, like I said, different to other ad platforms, though it is very similar to the Facebook ad structure with important differences. So let's run through it together, because for beginners, this is going to be a step-by-step process. If you're already used to Snap ads or Facebook ads, then this might be very familiar to you. But either way, let's guide you through this. So once you've created your account, this is what it'll look like. And for beginners, there is easy ways to set up an ad, for example, what Snapchat calls instant create. But I want to guide you through the more strategic method and not just the shortcuts. But to be able to do that, we need to understand the dashboard a little bit better. If we take a look here, if you click manage ads, you'll see the plethora of options that we get. I'm going to guide you through most of these here because there's actually a number of really important tools that we should be using. But in essence, this is your navigation and this is your dashboard. So if you don't already know, we have the campaign section here, the ad set section, and the ads. These are the different tiers and different levels that we have to work with. Then you have the assets, which is the assets that we're going to create, the ads, the images, the videos, the audiences. So you have the events manager, audiences as well, apps, catalogs, etc. Then we have the creative library. This is where we store the videos and the lenses, the filters, whatever you might want to create when it comes to Snapchat. I do have my recommendations, so I'll speak to that in a moment. Then you have analyze, which is pretty straightforward. This is where we can get the insights into our ads, how they're performing, our audiences. And then, of course, we have the admin type stuff, your business details, the help center, billing, payments, etc. I want to move on and talk to you now about how we should structure our ad account if you are brand new to Snapchat, or even if you're not brand new to Snapchat. This might be helpful in setting you up with successful Snap ads. This is generally, the ad structure that we should follow. This is going to be very dependent on what type of goals you want to achieve, what type of business that you run, but overall, this is how we should start setting things up. So like I said, we have the campaigns, ad sets, and the creatives, and this is how we're going to break them all up. Under campaigns, you want the overall goal. Okay, so in this case, if you take a look here, you have prospecting, retargeting, upsells, re-engagement. So in more simple terms, just in case you're confused, Prospecting is where we find new customers. So that's going to be one campaign. Retargeting is where we retarget and resell to those who have already been on our website, who have already purchased something from our website. That is going to be a whole different campaign itself. So take those two as an example. And then we have the ad sets underneath those campaigns. So the ad sets is where we target different audiences, different specific people within these campaigns. So if we're targeting new customers, maybe we want to target a very particular audience for our product. Under retargeting or reselling, we want to take a look and break down the ad sets by, let's say, people who have visited the homepage only or visited a specific product page. Those are the things that we need to break down under the ad sets. Probably most importantly, when it comes to Snapchat, you have the creative section. So this is the ad itself. There are so many different creatives that we should be testing. And this is really the success to Snap ads. You really need to be testing a lot of different ads and making sure that you're able to pick a couple winners out of the lot and then run with those. That is probably the determining factor to a successful ad that will generate you and your business revenue. That is the overall structure that you can follow here. Feel free to take a screenshot and follow it. And now I'll share with you some other tools to get started with before we actually create the ad to ensure that you have the best chance of success when it comes to Snap ads. So the next tool that you should use before we set up an ad it's actually a really simple tool that I use to understand our audience and to create the best ad possible. And this tool is completely free and newly released actually, and it's called Snapchat Trends. It gives us another method to dig deep into trends, run market research, and even view public snaps. And I'll quickly show you how this works. If you head onto this link here, which I'll leave in the description link below. By the way, everything that I mentioned, all the tools, all the resources, I'll leave in the description box below, so it's easy for you to access. But basically, once you reach this link, okay, you're able to essentially take a look at almost any topic based on the captions of the snaps that are available publicly. So let's just say, if you scroll down here, you can see that there's top trends for last week, and we can see a few things that have been happening that are timely, such as the Lunar New Year, Tom Brady retiring, and those sorts of things are happening over the last week. This is where you can start to see what trends are happening, and you can possibly develop an ad specifically for what's happening right now. But beyond that, you can run competitor research. And just to give you a very broad example, let's just type in, Kanye West. And I want to show you something cool here too. So if we type in Kanye West, right, you can see where it's peaked in the amount of snaps that there are. And this is because if you look at this specific date, this is when Donda was dropped. Now, the really cool thing about this is, right, you can see snaps related to your terms, and you can see the public snaps that are trending or that are available for you to view right here, as you can see. But beyond that, what I really want to show you here is you can actually overlay comparisons. So if we take Kanye West as an example and type in here Drake as well, you're able to overlay what is more trendy and what's happening with the overall trend. So right here, if you're a fan of Drake and Kanye West, you'll understand that both Donda and Certified Lover Boy was dropped at roughly the same time. But in terms of overall use of snaps, Drake was obviously absolutely crushing the competition here, as you can see. The point here that I want to show you is that this tool, Snapchat Trends, is a powerful tool beyond, the usual tools that we might be using, SEMrush, Google Trends, to find out what's trending on Snapchat and potentially run some product research as well through this tool. So again, I'll leave this link to this tool down below, but this is something that you should really use before we start creating an ad. So once we have all the information, we've done all the background research, right? Now it's time to create an ad. When it comes to ad, we have a few various ad formats that are unique to Snapchat, right? So the first one we have is, of course, the single image or video ads. And these are ones that I highly recommend. They're very effective. They're very, simple, but they work. And this is probably the one that I'll run with to show you. But there are a few other examples that I want to share with you that also work really well. And specifically the placements, where you should place the ad on the Snapchat platform. Then you have collection ads, which is very similar to Facebook's collection ads. This is where you're able to display multiple products within the single ad. And then you have story ads, which I find extremely powerful too. And this is where you'll find, if you go onto the Discover page, this is where you'll see all the story ads. Then you have lenses and AR experiences. This is far more advanced. I don't totally recommend going with lenses immediately. Then you have commercials and filters. Same scenario here. This is probably reserved more for larger businesses. But if you're going for direct revenue here, what I recommend is single image, video ads, collection ads, and also story ads. I actually recommend creating a story ad right now if you're just starting out. They appear, like I said, on the discovery page and seems to get a lot of attention and impressions if you have a good creative. And that's something I want to emphasize over and over and over again. It's all about great creative on Snapchat. And so make sure that you are testing your creative and creating a good creative. And so if you're wondering at the moment, all right, Andrew, how do you create a great creative on Snapchat? And what should I go about doing? What sort of tools should I use? Well, here I'll give you a few recommendations for a great Snapchat ad creative. Something that I've been using is Snap Publisher, which is built in directly in the ad platform. And this is probably something you should go with when you're just starting out too, because it's just so simple to use. So Snap Publisher, if you click the menu here, go ahead and click creative, create video. This is where you'll land. All right. So this is where you're able to design from scratch or through templates, a video that is pretty efficient in its use. So what I mean by this is if you scroll down here, you can see a whole load of starter templates, completely free to use, by the way, which is awesome. So you can pick any of these and start creating ad, basically throwing in your brand, your product, and adjusting the text, the timing, all that good stuff. So just click continue here. So as you can see here, this is the timeline. It's very simple to use. It's a very clean interface, which I appreciate. But you can start to upload your items and start uploading your brand logos. And then, changing the timing, the creative, and essentially uploading your own, ad into this platform here. It's a very easy tool to use. And this is what I recommend if you're completely new to Snap ads. Why I recommend this is because it's native to the Snapchat ad platform. And also it's incredibly easy to use and will get you set up pretty fast. Now, bear in mind though, it is a limited tool. I mean, it's completely free and it's built into Snap ads itself. So if you want more, creativity, more control, then there are other tools out there that I do recommend if you want to take your ads to the next level. And of course, you always should be taking your ads to the next level. You should be testing, you should be optimizing, and you should be changing things up consistently when it comes to the ad itself. I can't say it enough. The ad is truly the most important aspect to Snap ads, more so than Facebook ads and even Instagram ads. Another tool that I recommend is Placeit. Placeit is a very similar tool in that it is very fast to create an ad. It gives you beautiful templates and you can get up and running within literally minutes. So if you head onto the link here, okay, you go under videos and you go under social media and you go to Instagram stories. Same format as Snapchat stories or Snapchat stories and also Snap videos essentially. So if you click Instagram stories and then you go down here, similar format, except you get more control and there's more creative templates here and nicer looking animations in my opinion overall. So if we just take a look at say this one, and you can see the amount of tools that you get. You're able to change the colors, you're able to change the fonts, the playback speed even, and you're able to build out a really nice creative looking ad. So go ahead and start using these tools, right? Once you have an ad ready, that's when we can move on and start to build out the actual Snap ad itself. And this is the important part too, because we want to make sure that we're reaching the right audience using the right settings. Otherwise, your ad's not going to work. But the first thing that you want to jump into first before you get ahead of yourself is make sure you take the time to do your research. And then beyond that, you create a great ad, an ad that works. Of course, you don't know immediately if it's going to be an ad that works because that's where the testing comes in. You need to test and get that data first. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So going back to the dashboard, click manage ads, then click create ads. Now you get two options, and I mentioned this earlier. You get instant create, which is great for beginners, but in this case, let's go with advanced create. Advanced create will give us more options to work with. Once we're in this page here, you're going to select your objective. This is extremely important because you get a number of different options here, and it is overwhelming if you don't know what to pick. So I'm going to make it very simple for you. This depends again on what type of business you're running, but I'm going to assume that you want to generate revenue here. So most times we're going to go with website conversions, right? However, we're actually going to go with video views in this case because I want to show you a strategy that I recommend that you use. Because if you're starting off brand new with Snap ads, then it's worthwhile using that ad credit to generate video views, so we're able to retarget and resell to those people that have viewed our video. So let's set up a video views campaign right here. Then we're going to scroll down here and then set up the ad itself. Campaign setup, campaign name, make sure that you name it something relevant. Status, obviously active, but if you're unsure about the ad that you are creating and you want it to be offline, then click this off. It can be paused and then you can activate it once you're all set up. Create split test. This is a new feature. I actually do recommend this, particularly if you're just setting up new ads. You do want to split test multiple creatives. So what I recommend is you go back to that step of creating the ad itself, create a couple different ads. That way we can all upload it, batch upload it, and test out which one is actually going to work better for you based on certain metrics. So the test variable in this case will be creative, but if you want to test out different variables such as audience placement and even goal, then you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just telling you that the goal should be in this case, in this specific strategy, video views. The placement audiences we can also test, but let's go ahead and test the creative first because that is going to be the most important before we move on and test the placement or audience. Okay, so from here, this is where we're going to input what sort of audience we're going to target. Make sure that you have created a Snap Pixel first and that it's attached. Don't click not attached because we definitely want the Snap Pixel there. And the Snap ID tracking, this is a bit more advanced. We don't need to go into that at the moment. The ad format, as we mentioned, will be single video. And so we're going with a video and the attachment will be a website. All right. Moving down here, placements. We do want to edit the placements. Okay. You can go automatic placements. I mean, the Snap algorithm isn't bad whatsoever. But the point here is I really want us to start implementing Snap stories on the discovery page, right? Let's click between content. User stories and publisher and creative stories are completely fine. We want both, but make sure that you include the relevant categories, because if we're selling a pet product and it's appearing after, beauty influencers, it might not convert as well. And if we're very careful with our ad dollars at the moment, we want to make sure that our ads are being placed on relevant categories. So just make sure that you're selecting the right category to you. Then the location. This is pretty self-explanatory. I like to go global only because we sell globally anyway. And so if you sell globally or if you sell in a select country only, make sure that this is reflected in the locations that you're targeting. Beyond that, if you're targeting a specific country, make sure that your language is also updated. Make sure that your slang and that your overall video and creative talks to that specific country, right? Just bear that in mind. It does get complicated if you're targeting globally, but as long as you're batching countries together, let's just say all Western countries, all English speaking countries, you should be fine overall. Then moving down to demographics, make sure that you target within the demographics that you believe will work well for you. Feel free to go broader than normal if you don't know who your target demographic is. Again, Snapchat has pretty great algorithms that help you target the right people as long as you spend enough with them. It's not going to immediately target the right people. You need to give it some time. You need to give it some ad dollars. And that is, again, why it's so important to claim that free ad credit that I've linked down below. Languages, go with English unless you're advertising in a different language, obviously. And while we're going through all of this, make sure that you take a look at the creative split test estimate. Because we are split testing the creative itself, it's important that we have a large enough audience that we're going to reach, right? So if you don't have a large enough audience, look, you're not going to get enough eyeballs on your ad. And so you're not going to get enough people coming onto your website. So the target audience, particularly when we're starting out, should be broad. I'm talking like multi-millions of people. And then take a look at how many people you're able to reach and the impressions that you're able to gain through your ad dollars. If you have a smaller budget, this is probably going to look smaller, but make sure that you have significant reach there and that your video views are at least going to be in the thousands. It's not really going to do us any favors if we only have a few hundred views. You're probably not going to get a purchase, most likely. If you have a few thousand though, we have so much more data to work with, and we can start to retarget those people if you have a few thousand views. Moving on, operating systems, Android, iOS, whatever device you're targeting. This is dependent on what type of product that you're selling, but typically I go all anyway, connection type all, and then delivery. Now, delivery, again, use the budget and then take a look at the creative split test estimate. You want to match it up. And like I said, you want the target audience size to be multi-millions if you're just starting out, the reach and video views to be in the thousands at the very, very least. So I can't tell you what budget you should put in, but use that as a guide to shift and adjust your budget. I go with lifetime budget when I'm first starting out, okay? So this is, again, dependent on how comfortable you are with your budget, how much money you want to spend. Now, start date, always have the start date the next day. I don't like having my start date immediate because you have to be wary that it might take 12, 24 hours, maybe even a couple days to get your new ad approved. And if you have a brand new ad account, typically it takes longer to get your ad approved because it's a brand new ad account and you need to establish trust with the systems and the algorithms on the Snap ad platform. And then run for, again, this is dependent on you, but you don't want the ad to run for just a day or two. That's not going to do you any favors too. I like to set it typically for a week. 5 days to a week is totally fine from what I've seen. Ad scheduling, I like to run ads all the time, especially if we're just testing at the moment and these are just video views. And the goal is 15-second views. If you want to reach a really large audience for whatever reason, if you want to really ramp up your audience really fast, then you can go with the 2-second video view. You're going to get significantly more views. As you can see immediately down on the creative split test estimate, we've jumped from about 7,000 to 38,000 potential 2-second video views. But that's not the best way to go through things because you're not going to get quality eyeballs on the ad itself. So I do recommend, if you have the budget, to go with 15-second video views. If you're a little impatient, that's okay. I understand. You can go with 2-second video views and then retarget them later because the retargeting is really where you want people to watch your ad and click through to your website. That goal will be dependent on what you feel is right. If you have a longer ad, then go with the 15-second video view for sure. Bidding, we don't need to go into bidding at the moment. That is a bit of an advanced topic, but let's go with auto bid. Again, more than sufficient for when you're starting out. Let's not worry about tagging and then click next. So the ad itself now, make sure you name the ad, add a headline. So the headline is essentially where it appears underneath your brand name. And then shareable, I recommend it having shareable, particularly if it's a really good ad. There are chances that it will be shared. And then I'm going to upload my media. So call to action is so important. Make sure that it is relevant to your business. So in this case, we want to go with shop now. A website URL will go directly to your website and specifically the sales page, not the home page. Okay, just make sure that that's the case. Autofill smart prefetching, I'll just leave that as is. We don't need to go into that right now. This is what I've created on Placeit, and you want your ad to be short and snappy on Snapchat. So you can see here, super clean, eye-catching, nice music. And then finally, we're on review and publish. Take a look at everything, look at the stats, make sure that everything looks about right before you click publish campaign. So once we have all of that done, we're going to go into assets. Under assets, we're going to click audiences. We want to make sure that we start building out our audiences for future ads. This is so important. We want to create saved audiences and we want to create other custom audiences so we can make sure that we're reaching the right people. So just going over this this real quickly. If you click get started, it's custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and saved audiences. Saved audiences is literally what we were just creating just then. You can manually create saved audiences based on different categories. Lookalike audiences is basically what it sounds like. It's replicating a very similar audience to something that you already have created or own. And then you have custom audiences, which is an audience based on a source. So you have customer lists, website events, mobile events, profile engagement, ad engagement. Ad engagement, for example, we can create really powerful audiences based on how they engage with your ad. And this is exactly what we want to do with your video view ads. Once we have set up those video view ads, right? Once you have a significant number of video views, you're going to click completed a top snap video ad or swiped up on an image or video ad. So let's click completed a top snap video ad and then click the specific source, right? So make sure that you click in this ad account, then you click and select the ad that we've already created after a couple days of it being live. Then you're going to click create. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back and create a retargeting campaign based on that video view campaign. But the point here is you want to start building out different audiences. So we're able to start leveraging these different audiences and start gathering all this data into your ad account. And that is truly when you're going to start seeing a lot of swipe ups to your store, to your website, to your business. And then we're going to start collecting or building out these audiences collectively. And that's when you're going to see a ton of great results. So really, that is how you get started with Snapchat ads in this year. And make sure that you leverage all those new tools that I told you about, because those are the tools that are going to separate you from other people who aren't using them. And make sure that you do focus on creating a great ad and making sure that you take a look at the metrics of what's performing well, what is not, based on those video ads that we talked about in this tutorial. If you made it to the end of this video, you're an absolute trooper. I hope you're now that much more equipped to launch winning Snap ads that bring your business to the next level. And comment the code word success if you indeed made it this far into the video, and I'll give it a like. And if you're serious about Snap ads, there's a lot more to Snap ads. I wasn't able to cram into this beginner's tutorial because I think it's been quite long already. So if you're interested, we have a very inexpensive mini course all around Snap ads and how to create advanced ads, advanced strategies, and how to scale up those ads that we talked about today. So if you want to check out that inexpensive mini course, there should be a direct link and pop up underneath this video directly to that mini course. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. Hope that you enjoy this video. I hope you've learned a lot in this video. Snap ads truly is a platform that is worthwhile, that actually works, as long as you know how to use it and you have a little bit more patience with it. Go ahead and claim that Snapchat ad credit down below before you start, so you're able to get that free ad credit. And yeah, be sure to subscribe for more marketing, business, and tech content. And as always, thank you for watching.